Welcome back. Before the start of the new season, Rolf went over to Brentford's training ground to interview players Yoane Wissa and Christian Norgaard.
Christian Norgaard on the end of it.
Thank you for joining us. How's your summer been so far?
It's been really nice. Thank you for having me. First of all, it was stressful with the Euros, of course. A lot of work to do there, but then afterwards had some nice few weeks off with the family, and now back to work.
Brentford have such a good reputation as a club for being well run. So what's it like being a player here?
It's been a joy. I came 5 years ago from a big club in Italy, Fiorentina, and was of course wondering what it would be like to come to a relative small club like Brentford. But like you said, it's run very well by very good people, very skillful people, and of course an owner who's a fan and who cares a lot about the club. And I think that helps a lot with the decision making coming from the top down to us players.
Brentford are known for having a really statistics-driven approach to transfers, so did that make it feel special to be signed by them?
Yeah, it did actually. You have to tick off some boxes. You have to be a green light in certain categories, and yeah, it's always good to be approved in some of these categories. And so far, it's worked really well for Brentford. The transfer window I came, Brian Mbeumo came as well, Matthias Jensen, Pontus Jansson, David Raya. So a lot of players that still play their part in the club, but also players that they have managed to move on to bigger clubs.
Now, if I can just ask you about Thomas Frank, I mean, am I right in saying you've known him since you were 15 years old? That's incredible. What's your relationship like with him?
I think me and Thomas obviously has a very good relationship. Like you said, we've known each other for a long time. Yeah, I think I've been really lucky to have a coach like Thomas in my football career. He's always seen a light in me as a player, but I think more importantly as a leader, as a personality. I think when you're a player, those are the sort of relationships you always wish you can get with a coach, because it will of course also promote your confidence and also your performance over the course of a career.
What would you say a highlight's been of your time at Brentford?
Yeah, good question. We've had so many good seasons, both in the Championship, but of course the journey into the Premier League and how we've managed to also stay in it for 3 years, especially the second season was of course very impressive. I think getting promoted, but also managed to perform against the bigger teams, especially in that second season. We really had some good results, and we always seemed to be a pain in the ass for some of the bigger clubs.
Wissa bends one beautifully. Wissa! What a fantastic breakaway goal for Brentford!
If we look back to when you first arrived at the club, what were your first impressions?
My first impression when I first came was the intensity. I was a bit obviously small in a big world, so it took me a time, it took me a while to know where I am, to understand, especially after that I had injury, 8 weeks off, so it took me a bit time to come back. But as soon as I had the tempo, I will say, the intensity, it was very, very much fun.
So Yoane, can you give us some insight into what the dressing room's like at Brentford, and what's your role? Are you the joker or the more laid-back guy?
I'm a bit a joker. I love playing with the guy. try to laugh every time. Easy guy. Of course, sometimes more and more I take more responsibility, I will say, as a man, as a player especially. But yeah, I'm more the funny guy in the dressing room.
So you mentioned being a joker in the dressing room. Are there others, or is it more of a serious dressing room?
No, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one, so that's why it's much easier. Everyone has a bit of fun, but so yeah, especially me and Brian, we like to laugh, and Kev, Shadow, Rico, and me. There's so many players, so that's why we make the place, I would say, special, because obviously we know that Premier League is really hard, really intense, but I think has some player like this is really more important, I would say.
So looking back at your time here, what would you say has been a real highlight?
Highlight, goals, obviously.
Favourite goal? Have you got one of those?
I would say against Chelsea, definitely the over kit. But I want to say the first one as well, against Liverpool, first goal in Premier League, in front of my family. So yeah, my mom cried and everyone was there. First come in the JTEC, so yeah, it was special. This one was special.